All right, I am super excited, to be chatting with the amazing superstar, Tia P.
Hey.
Yes, you know how we do it on the show, deep vibes, good conversations. And, it's
Mhm.
amazing that Tia P is going to be speaking with us today. And I'm super excited. She's graced the stage for a long time now. And you started singing when you were in church. I can remember, like, I read about you,
Yeah.
like, yeah, your mom used to be a singer and teacher as well. And
Mhm.
your first song that you wrote and sang in church was I think I forgot. I tried to remember.
Yeah, if you let a Lord slide to you, it's called Holy Ghost Party. But yeah,
Yes,
that
yes,
was
yes, yes, yes. Holy Ghost Party. So how's it been? How's it been with you?
you know what? I can't complain. It's been a roller coaster, but I love roller coasters. So, I'm here for the highs, the dips, and back for more highs. So it's been an incredible journey since, writing that first song for
Yeah.
church to where music has taken me, taken my career to most recently being on the newest season of Rhythm and Flow on Netflix, season 2. So it's been an incredible journey. And I'm super grateful for people like you who have been following for a while, but also to the new fans and new followers and people who are, within the last year, within the last few months, within, just this whole space, who are really finding kinship with my music and my social media personality. And yeah, so it's been great. Much more to do, but a lot has already been done. So
Great, absolutely. You are, a multi-talented singer, yeah, rapper, drummer. When I was watching your video, I was like, oh my gosh, she could drum so well. Like, how did you do that?
thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
My
if
dad's a
you,
drummer, so it's just one of those
yeah,
things. Yeah.
yeah, that's a drummer.
Uh-huh.
Ah, nice. So if
Yeah.
you are to describe yourself with just one sentence, what would it be?
If I could describe myself in just one sentence,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good one. Okay, I like one sentence better than one word because a lot of people hit me with the one word, and I'm like, uh, TP is is different. I would say that. It's hard one word because I feel like then I gotta explain different. But you know what? I'll rephrase that. TP is the 5'1" good time vibe. Yeah, yeah.
Mm, great. So,
Okay, yeah.
all right. So, for people listening right now and watching us as well, would you mind telling
Mm.
us, where you get your passion from, where you get your vibe from, your
Yeah,
inspiration, like that energy?
definitely.
How do you run it? Where do you get it from?
Oh man, look, I don't like being bored. Like I'm an only child, so I've always found ways to entertain myself. And whether
Yeah.
that's as a kid, just I was the one making the storylines for my Barbies. Like I don't know how many times like my Barbies cheated on each other because it just makes for a good storyline with the
Yeah.
with the Barbies as a kid. But I I kind of get my inspiration from a few different sources. One of them definitely, and I just did a video about this because it's Women's History Month over here, and Missy Elliott always being so different but so signature, from her sound to like just the way that she would communicate in her raps to her visuals, like just making people feel good and having a good time, like that type of energy. Of course, Lauryn Hill, who's another rapper and singer who does what she does well, but is more like on the cool tip. So I have my times when I'm in that vibe too, but I love a Lauryn Hill, and I love even nowadays I super love what Doechii is doing, in the game, just
Mm,
making it fun again. That's always what I've been about, is fun. And if I'm not having fun, and part of me is a big kid, I'm only 5'1", but I I'm I kind of look like a kid for some people, but like I just keep this childlike energy, and I really know it's a
yeah.
gift from God because that makes me relatable to so many different types of people, so many different types of audiences, that I think a lot of times look at hip hop, and one of the first things that a lot of people say when they come to my shows and they see me live is, I'm not even really a big rap fan, but I like what you do. Like, so that's, for me, that's always a super big compliment, because to change somebody's idea about a whole genre just by, for me, just kind of showing them how diverse the genre really is
Hmm.
always a blessing. And God gave me these gifts, and I'm gonna use them. I'm so
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So, being an artist, I'm sure there are a lot of challenges. Everyone has one challenge or the other, throughout their music journey and all. Do you mind, sharing with us some? We really want to know.
Yeah, it's interesting being a female artist, period. I just
Yeah.
think there's a lot more strenuous standards that we are expected to uphold, especially particularly when it comes to being on a label. Now, I've had my time where we were label searching and label hunting.
Yeah.
And, growing up, that's kind of like back in the day, that was the idea of what you wanted to do. It's like you weren't
Mm,
official till you were like signed, had your record deal.
mm,
But it's a, it's, it's an interesting space when, especially aesthetic wise, you're told you have to look this certain way, but you see there's 99 other male artists who are not as diverse or not as what's the word I'm looking for, they're not held up to kind of like those same aesthetic standards.
yeah.
And their music is getting pushed, like it's nothing, it's the same message, there's a million of them lined up ready to go. But kind of sort of the music box, the aesthetic box, the either you're going to be this type of artist or this type of artist, you get told often a lot of times. But for me, it's been overcoming that has been great because my team has always believed in the diversity of what I present as an artist.
Yeah.
I've always had that encouragement to never feel like I have to dumb down um, parts of me in order to satisfy a larger audience. And also just the whole idea of people used to really like I don't want to say poop on, but like divert from a quote unquote. If you called yourself a clean artist, like I don't like the word clean because it assumes that everything else is dirty, But I'm very conscious about some of the things that I say, in the way that I say it, but because I think it's just more of a creative vibe sometimes to just find a different way to say the thing that we all are so commonly used to hearing. But it's overcoming that has been the beauty, and I think what's been the key to why I'm able to step in different arenas of music, not just the studio and the stage performance, but why I've been so successful with TV and film, whether that be from being the voice of Brooklyn Barbie, the first African American to voice Brooklyn Barbie whenever she sings,
Yeah.
and but at the same time being able to have a pen to write like some stuff for, I forget that show, Florida Bama Shore, which they kind of wanted like a ratchet vibe. So being able to have fun in both spaces is
Yeah.
really, the thing that I was kind of told to put in a box. Well, because
Yeah.
I didn't, though that was the thing that's kind of allowed me to survive in music in a totally different way than I think a lot of artists think of. So yeah, outside of the stage and just the studio.
That's quite inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right.
Yeah.
Talking so talking about you were on Netflix Redeem plus Flow and Netflix Redeem and Flow. So what was
Yes.
it like, behind the scenes, and that was it what you expected?
It was very interesting. We shot all of that in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm a West Coast girl, but I got friends in the South and stuff like that. So it was a different vibe just being in a different space and place. So but I'm easily adaptable. I went to school in DC on the East Coast. So I'm moving to another location for a while was not a problem at all. I enjoy the new exposure. But
Mm,
it being my second time I was on a music competition show, there are certain aspects and elements that may have been surprising to others, but it's just this is the business. I get how it works.
yeah.
So it's kind of whenever you do any type of music show for television, people often have to recognize that it is still for television. Yes, it is
It's still
about.
for television because I went on reading like she shouldn't have left. She shouldn't have left. So just checking out like what? Um,
Yeah, I still got people now who I meet and run into, and they're still salty about it. So
yeah. People
yeah,
are angry. Yeah, they're not happy about it actually. Yes.
I can't blame them, but it is what it is. So just support me in other ways. That's
Yes,
what I say.
of
But
course.
yeah, it was great. I mean, the competition was definitely real, but also the camaraderie was real. Like the the things that you see, like the relationships that you saw being built on that show, it wasn't just for the cameras. Like everybody I can say was genuinely their authentic self. If we rock with somebody, we rock with somebody. If somebody didn't, they didn't. But it never,
Yeah.
no fights, regular arguments, but nothing like crazy, crazy. We just all wanted to make sure that we were represented in the best light, whether that be, in group conversations with production, whether that had been, just making sure our handlers, had what we needed more or less. But it was definitely a great experience, and the exposure. I mean, it's not just domestic United States; it's the world. So
Yeah,
that
it is.
yeah, that's the best time. So I definitely was able to grow my international fan base a lot more since the
Yeah,
airing of the show. So that's been a blessing. That's been
it
incredible.
is. It is absolutely. It is. Your song, West. Yay. That's actually one of my favorite songs of yours. And yeah, I
Thank
really like
you.
it so much too. What was it like? Did you write that song yourself?
Yeah, I did. I wrote the lyrics. Actually, we were working with a producer. His name is Nostradamus, and G Keys was the engineer. And so, as we were kind of tweaking that track, we had gone through a whole bunch of stuff, and when we kind of landed on that, I was like, those flutes. I'm like, it's something. It's giving me a little bop, giving me a little vibe. And because the purpose of that challenge with that song was to imagine this is our first single, nobody knows who we are. We gotta kind of, represent and da 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 da. And I was like, okay,
Mhm.
I want to make something that is signature to me, but doesn't necessarily isolate people who are not specifically from where I'm from. So, which is
Mhm.
why the whole idea for me is West. I never say West Coast intentionally. My whole thing is the
Wow.
second verse really explains it. Yeah, every city, place, a city, state, country, and continent has a West side,
Yeah,
because that's true, and so I wanted to broaden it up to no matter where you were, if you were in the West of anything, you could feel like you were part of this as well. So yeah, the
absolutely.
the the duality of like the focus, but the broader focus. So yeah, I definitely wanted to rep. I had to shout out my city, Inglewood, one time for
Mm.
one time.
Yeah, TFB.
Yeah.
Okay, your song. Another song of yours I love so much is Grown Up. Grown Up.
Ah,
Yeah. What
yeah.
was your inspiration behind that song like?
Grown Up was written, and that's funny. That's what we call a song for sync. That song was written as a part of a group I've worked with before called the Math Club, and we did a lot of music submissions for the show All American, which
Yeah.
I actually had the pleasure of being on for several episodes as well. But that was written for, I think it was a scene where they were, a lot of transitioning, life transitions had happened. They were from I think earlier seasons to the season that aired, they had, were like seniors in high school. So we kind of seen the development of them as their characters on the show. And so it
Yeah.
was a really perfect song for that time. I think they were like going to a cabin or something, some retreat or whatever. But it
Mhm.
it really signifies, kind of like that thing we all have to do. We're all
Mhm.
grown up. We all start in a certain space, and
Yeah, we grown
through
up.
time and experiences, we grow up, and it's a beautiful thing when you get to grow up together with a certain group of people, and you've kind of seen each other,
Yeah.
at your best, at your worst, at your at your where your potential is. So I think it really just speaks to that universal, been my day ones. Now we all grown up. Yeah.
Yeah. In 2022, you co-wrote the anthem "Running with the Angels," and yeah, for the City Football Club with pop sensation Brittany Howard and a
Mhm.
song fortune. So, how was it like for you? It actually won Emmys in 2023. Yeah, how was it
Yeah,
like for you?
it's that whole experience was great. It's fun. It's a funny story when we talk about it. To get the call to be the featured rapper on the song, we didn't even know how it had even come about. But it was a crazy opportunity because I recorded all that in my home studio here. So when I got the call, they were interested in having me on the song. They sent the song. Brittany Howard and I actually had direct communication, and I finished it, I think, probably a day after I'd gotten the track. Like I said, just recorded in my little home studio, sent it to her, and she sent me. I don't know if you guys have the GIF or whatever. It was the this gif for like Elmo dancing on top of the world on fire, like whatever, something like that. But
Yeah.
it was great to get, you know, her personal approval of, you know, what I had done, because it was my first collaboration with her, our first time working together. Of course, you know, she's Brittany Howard of the Alabama Shakes, multi-Grammy winner, amazing songwriter, instrumentalist, vocalist. So, you know, for someone of her caliber to definitely, you know, confirm that she enjoyed, you know, what I brought to the track. So that was great. And when we got the chance to perform it for the inaugural game, you know, what is that? I think like 22,000 people. That was incredible. You know, we had
It
our Angel
was.
City Football Club gear on. You know, you got the
Yeah.
crowd going, the team hype. Like it was. That's a crazy feeling, but a great feeling. And you know, I just kick in. I just go into this other space whenever I'm on stage or performing. Like I'm here for y'all. I'm here for y'all. Like this extra, I don't know, just like an internal can of Red Bull pops up. So I don't know, yeah. But it was a great experience. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question. Like, do you have any other thing coming up for us, for your fans? Do you have a song
You
coming up?
know, do I have a song coming up? It's so much music coming up. I don't have a specific song that's probably about to drop yet, but um there's a lot of stuff that's happening during the summer. We're also planning tours. So if there's a space or a place where, you know, you guys want me to pop up, and I'm still doing private events as well.
Okay.
But yeah, if you guys want to definitely keep up with what I'm doing, like Instagram is the best way. I'm on there every day. As
Mm-hmm.
activities and things and dates and new music pops up, I'm definitely sharing that with you guys. And most importantly, I'm letting people in more to kind of the process of how a lot of the music and the content is made that I do. So you'll catch me, if you guys catch me live, a lot of times now I'll just have you guys propped up like right next to me as I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on a song, whether it be, you know, lyrics or production. So you guys can really see the process and the journey. And then, you know, in turn, a lot of people now are interested in when those songs are dropping that we're working on. So I want Team TFP to continue to feel like a community. And you know, you guys have been a part of the journey. So I just want you guys to take a little more intricate look into it. So, but yeah, just I am Tia P on social media. I am TiaP.com. That's the website. But that's the best way to keep in touch and see what's new pop, because I'm always cooking something new, you know.
Right,
Always,
you are.
always.
You are. You always.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So, you have been in the entertainment scene for a very long time now, in the music scene
Mhm.
for quite a while. Okay, so if you were given a chance to change something in the entertainment industry, what would that thing be?
If I had a chance to change something in the industry, oh man, that's a just one thing. Okay, let's see. Uh, you know what? The industry has changed a lot, I would definitely say, and I don't know how exactly this would happen, but there's and I don't say this just from a purely money stance, but
Yeah.
I don't like the way that streaming has cut into a lot of artists, you know, payroll, or how the way that we get paid. It's a shame that we almost have to sell a certain amount of, you mean, unless you're like Beyonce or Kendrick or Drake, who's still not making the majority of what they make off of streams. You know, it's if there were a way to kind of go back to like the real money making of selling a song, selling an album,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be a great thing, I think, just because so artists, you know, independent or signed with the label, could, you know, really make a true living, you know, off
Mm,
their art. A lot of times tours are the things that make it. We have to do merch, you know, or if you don't know about Sync. Sync, you know, that's a whole other avenue that a lot of artists are driving to, and labels as well are realizing the power and the better money that's in sync than it is in just trying to get your stuff streamed. So that, and I do wish that, which is why I'm a big advocate for it, there was more education about the music industry for artists. You know, there's more now. I mean, there's a whole lot. You know, you can Google, you can ask Siri, you can chat
yeah.
GPT, which is great.
Yeah. It is.
But just more transparency about the business side of the music industry and not just the creative side. So, yeah, I'm a big advocate for that as well. So,
Hmm. Amazing, amazing. You sound so unique. I'm sure you've not you've heard this a lot of times. So, how do you decide what story to tell in your music, in rap? How do you decide?
A lot of it is because I produce as well early on. It was I would get the lyrical ideas as the track was being created, and it's still that way. I tell a lot of producers I work with, the track talks to me. It lets me kind of know the direction, what's the vibe, because you never want to, for me, the lyrics really don't have any potency if the track and the lyrics don't mesh. If it feels like the communication or the balance is off. And because I'm a drummer, rhythm is so important to me, and every song, for the most part, has its own type of vibe, and you never want to be clashing with the song or doing too much. And some songs are musically really, really busy, and that
Mm,
allows me to kind of lay back more so in the lyrical style. But it may, because it's not busy, it may allow me to tell a deeper story, that may
yeah.
not be so word heavy. Or if the track is kind of open, then that leaves space for me to have kind of a lyrical playground or whatever the case may be. But sometimes it's just like, what's my personality today? Like, what are we feeling real conscious? Are we feeling a little ratchet? Are we feeling intellectual? Like what's the space? And I can really just kind of, again, when the track talks to me, then it kind of narrows it down into what space and place we're going to play with today. And sometimes it's a personal story. Sometimes it's a story of a friend of a friend. Sometimes it's not a real life story, but it's taken from the contents of maybe the media that I'm taking in or something like that. But, it's yeah, the track does a lot of the talking to me, and that just kind of steers me in the direction I want to go.
Oh,
And luckily I got plenty of roads to take. So
great, great. So are you looking forward to have any collaborations with anyone currently in the industry? You have any collaboration?
ooh, if you're talking about like that I already have in the works or just collabs that I would like to have.
Yeah, that I'd like to have.
Oh, okay. Oh man. Well, I love Missy. Missy would be dope. Matter of fact, she just showed a lot of love on my acapella video I did a couple days ago. Like I said, honoring her for Women's History Month.
Oh,
Pharrell for sure. I love me some Pharrell. I've been in love with Pharrell sound since I was a kid. Um,
oh,
Timberland definitely. Who else? I will love Lauren as long as we can get a session on time. That'd be great. Yeah,
me too.
Miss Hill for sure. I'm trying to think who else. Oh, Kendrick for sure. That I think was just he's incredible, and he's definitely been a big source of inspiration for me, from like K Dot to Mr. Morale to especially the Super Bowl performance was just solidified why I'm such a big Kendrick fan.
Yeah,
So
it's happening
yeah,
soon. Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today on the show. I really appreciate it.
thank you,
So,
Toyosi, for having me. Yes,
so do you want to say something to your fans? They could reach your Instagram, your social media, Instagram
yes.
everywhere on your website.
Hmm.
You want to tell them anything?
Thank you. I can just truly just say thank you for the fans, not even just in the domestic United States, but the fans that I know I have in Nigeria and all over Africa. You guys are definitely good at hitting me up and commenting on my stuff. So I super appreciate that. I cannot wait for the day that I have the chance to come out there and perform live for all of you. So thank you for your support. And I hope that you guys continue to be a part of the TAP journey. And